Ever felt your heart pounding before a presentation or a meeting? That, my friends, is social anxiety knocking on your door. Social anxiety, often brushed off as mere shyness or introversion, is a very real and prevalent issue. It's not just about feeling a bit nervous before a big event, it's a chronic fear that can make ordinary interactions seem intimidating, even terrifying. Imagine feeling like you're perpetually on a stage, being scrutinized and judged by everyone around you. That's the daily reality for millions of people worldwide living with social anxiety. This condition is more common than you might think. In fact, it's among the top 3 most widespread mental health issues globally. It's not selective either. It can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background. From the high school student afraid to raise their hand in class, to the adult who dreads office parties, social anxiety is an unwelcomed guest in many lives. The impact of social anxiety goes beyond the occasional bout of nerves. It can seep into every corner of a person's life, making simple tasks like ordering a coffee or making a phone call feel like monumental challenges. It can hinder personal relationships, academic performance, and career progression. It can even lead to physical symptoms like headaches, stomach issues, and insomnia. But here's the thing about social anxiety: it's not a life sentence, it's not something you have to resign yourself to. It's a battle, yes, but it's a battle that can be won. With the right tools, techniques, and mindset, it's entirely possible to overcome social anxiety, to not just survive, but thrive in social situations. So, let's not shy away from this topic. Let's confront it head on. Let's understand it, break it down, and most importantly, let's learn how to conquer it. Because everyone deserves to live without the constant shadow of fear looming over them. Everyone deserves to feel comfortable, confident, and at ease in their own skin. But remember, it's a battle that can be won. So let's dive into the ways to conquer this unseen enemy. Knowing your enemy is half the battle won. So, how do we recognize social anxiety? Social anxiety, like a chameleon, can blend into our lives, making it hard to pinpoint. However, if you know what to look for, you can spot the signs and take action. Let's delve into some common symptoms and signs of social anxiety. First up, excessive self-consciousness and worry about everyday social situations. Those with social anxiety often feel like they're under a microscope, with every action, every word, scrutinized. This intense fear can lead to avoidance of social situations, causing one to miss out on valuable experiences and relationships. Next, the fear of being judged or embarrassed. This might manifest as a palpable dread of making mistakes or a fear of humiliation. In some cases, this fear can be so strong that it induces physical symptoms like rapid heartbeat, trembling, or nausea. Thirdly, anticipatory anxiety. This is the fear and dread that builds up days, even weeks before a social event. It's like a dark cloud hanging over you, casting a shadow on everything else. Lastly, the post-event rumination. After the social event, you might find yourself replaying conversations, dissecting every detail, and criticizing yourself harshly for perceived mistakes. Now, it's important to remember that everyone experiences these feelings to some degree. It's part and parcel of being human. But when these feelings become intense, persistent, and interfere with your everyday life, it might be time to consider that you're dealing with social anxiety. It's also crucial to note that these symptoms are not exhaustive, and social anxiety can present differently in different people. It's not a one-size-fits-all condition. Remember, recognizing these symptoms is not a diagnosis, but an invitation to understand yourself better. It's a call to action, a call to take charge of your life and seek help if needed. There's no shame in feeling anxious. The key is to not let it dictate your life. And the first step to doing that? Recognizing the signs. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards overcoming social anxiety. Every problem has a root cause. Let's uncover the roots of social anxiety. First off, we have genetics. Just like the color of your eyes or your knack for playing piano, social anxiety can be inherited. Research indicates that individuals with a family history of social anxiety disorder are more likely to develop the same condition. Genetics can predispose an individual to be more susceptible to anxiety, making them more sensitive to their environment and more likely to experience stress. Next, we have the environment. How we were raised, our relationships, our experiences, they all shape who we are. If you grew up in a household where anxiety was common, you might have learned to view the world as a threatening place. Similarly, certain life events such as bullying or public humiliation can trigger social anxiety disorder. Then we have personal experiences. Ever heard of the phrase, once bitten, twice shy? It applies here. If you've had a negative social experience or a series of them, you might start to fear social situations. The fear of repeating these negative experiences can lead to avoidance, which in turn fuels the anxiety. Also, it's worth mentioning the role of the brain. Some studies suggest that overactivity in certain areas of the brain, responsible for fear and anxiety, may contribute to social anxiety. The amygdala, for instance, plays a key role in controlling the fear response. People with social anxiety may have an overactive amygdala, causing them to feel fear more intensely and in situations that wouldn't normally cause fear. Lastly, underlying health conditions, such as heart disease or hormonal imbalances, can also contribute to social anxiety. These conditions can cause physical symptoms that mimic those of anxiety, creating a vicious cycle of fear and worry. In summary, social anxiety is a complex condition with roots in genetics, environment, personal experiences, brain chemistry, and health conditions. But remember, understanding these roots is not about placing blame. It's about gaining insight. Understanding these roots can help us to better combat social anxiety. Mindfulness, a word you've probably heard of, but do you know its power against social anxiety? Mindfulness is a practice that roots us firmly in the present moment. It teaches us to be fully aware of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and our surrounding environment. It encourages us to observe the world around us without judgment, without trying to change it or push it away. Imagine being at a party, surrounded by people. Your palms are sweating and your heart is pounding. Social anxiety is beginning to take hold, but then mindfulness steps in. Instead of getting lost in fear, you focus on the taste of the drink in your hand, the texture of the cup, the sound of the music playing. You're not ignoring your fear, but you're not letting it consume you either. You're simply being present. This is the power of mindfulness. It's like a pause button for our frantic minds, offering us a safe haven in the storm of our thoughts. When anxiety tries to pull us into a whirlwind of worry about the future or regret about the past, mindfulness gently brings us back to the now. But you might wonder, how does this help with social anxiety? Well, social anxiety often stems from fear of judgment or rejection. We worry about how we might appear to others, what they might think of us. But mindfulness encourages us to let go of these worries, to accept ourselves as we are, without judgment. Moreover, studies have shown that mindfulness can actually change our brains. It can strengthen the areas associated with attention and emotional regulation, while reducing activity in the amygdala, the part of our brain that triggers fear and anxiety responses. Practicing mindfulness doesn't mean that social anxiety will disappear overnight, but over time, it can help us manage it better. It can help us face social situations with more calmness and confidence. And here's the beautiful part. Mindfulness isn't a complex skill that requires years of training. It's something that anyone can practice, anytime, anywhere. All it requires is for us to slow down, to pay attention, to be present. Remember, being present in the moment can be your greatest weapon against social anxiety. Ever heard of cognitive behavioral therapy? It's a powerful tool in our arsenal against social anxiety. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT as it's often abbreviated, is a form of psychotherapy that's been proven effective for a range of problems, including panic disorders, phobias, depression, and yes, social anxiety. The premise of CBT is pretty straightforward. Our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are interconnected, and by changing one, we can influence the others. So, how does it work for social anxiety? Well, at the heart of social anxiety lies a fear of negative evaluation by others. We're worried about what others might think of us, and that fear can be paralyzing. CBT challenges and changes these unhelpful thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. In other words, it helps us to reframe the way we think about social situations. For instance, imagine you're at a party and you're feeling anxious. Your mind might be filled with thoughts like, everyone is judging me, or I'm going to make a fool of myself. CBT helps you challenge these thoughts, to question their validity, and replace them with more positive and realistic ones. It's not about ignoring the negative, but rather about understanding that negative thoughts are just that, thoughts. They're not facts. And with practice, you can learn to change your reaction to them. But here's the thing. CBT isn't a magic pill. It's not going to erase your social anxiety overnight. It's a journey, a process that involves learning and practicing new skills. It's about gradually exposing yourself to social situations that you find difficult and working through your fears. You might be thinking, that sounds like hard work, and you're right, it is. But it's also incredibly rewarding. With time and practice, you can learn to navigate social situations with more confidence and less anxiety. CBT is a powerful tool, but remember, it's just one part of the puzzle. Overcoming social anxiety also involves building social skills, adopting a healthy lifestyle, and practicing mindfulness. CBT is not a quick fix, but a journey that leads to a life less controlled by social anxiety. Did you know that your lifestyle choices can influence your social anxiety? It's true. The decisions we make about our diet, exercise routines, and sleep habits can significantly impact our emotional well-being and our ability to handle social situations. Let's discuss diet first. What we put into our bodies directly affects how we feel. Consuming a diet high in processed foods, sugars, and unhealthy fats can lead to mood swings, energy crashes, and increased anxiety. On the flip side, a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can stabilize our energy levels and mood, making it easier to navigate social interactions. Now let's talk about exercise. Regular physical activity is a natural stress reliever. It helps to release endorphins, the body's feel-good chemicals, and it also helps to clear the mind, making it easier to focus and remain calm in social situations. Whether it's a brisk walk, a yoga session, or a high-intensity workout, any form of exercise that you enjoy can be beneficial. Finally, let's touch on sleep. Adequate sleep is essential for our mental health. Lack of sleep can lead to irritability, difficulty concentrating, and increased anxiety. Aiming for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night can help to restore the body and mind, making it easier to handle the challenges of social anxiety. So, what does this all mean? It means that the choices we make every day about what we eat, how much we move, and how well we sleep can either exacerbate our social anxiety or help us to manage it more effectively. It's not about a quick fix or a magic pill, but rather a holistic approach to health that supports our mental well-being. This isn't to say that these lifestyle choices will cure social anxiety overnight. It's a gradual process, and it's important to be patient with yourself. But by making these healthy choices, you're taking steps towards better managing your social anxiety and improving your quality of life. Making healthy lifestyle choices can be a simple yet effective way to reduce social anxiety. Social skills training, it sounds daunting, doesn't it? But it can be a game changer for those with social anxiety. Let's dive into what social skills training really is. It's a form of behavior therapy used to help people who struggle with social interactions. It's not just about knowing how to start a conversation or how to act in a group. It's about understanding social cues, interpreting body language, and learning how to respond appropriately. Think of it as a toolbox. It's filled with different tools you can use depending on the situation. Some tools might be for small talk at a party, others for presenting in a meeting, and some for building and maintaining relationships. For instance, consider the skill of active listening. It's not just about hearing words. It's about understanding and responding to the emotions and thoughts behind those words. Active listening can help build deeper connections with others, showing them that you value their thoughts and feelings. Another skill is assertiveness, which is about expressing your needs and wants in a respectful way. It's a balance between being passive and being aggressive. Being assertive can help in setting boundaries and preventing misunderstandings. Then there's empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Empathy can help you relate to others on a deeper level, making social interactions more meaningful and less anxiety-inducing. And let's not forget about nonverbal communication. It's said that up to 90% of our communication is nonverbal. Learning to interpret and use body language can help convey your message clearly and understand others better. The beauty of social skills training is that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's personalized, focusing on the areas you need help with the most. Whether it's learning how to manage conflicts or how to express your feelings, social skills training can provide the tools you need. Remember, improving your social skills can significantly reduce social anxiety. It's like learning a new language. It might be challenging at first, but with practice, it can open up a whole new world of possibilities. Overcoming social anxiety is not a destination, but a journey. And every journey begins with a single step. As we've explored throughout this video, breaking free from the chains of social anxiety is indeed an achievable goal. It's a path that demands patience, effort, and the right strategies, but the rewards are undeniably worth the climb. Let's recap what we've learned. First, we discovered that recognizing our social anxiety is the initial step in our journey. By acknowledging our fears and understanding their roots, we can start to dismantle them. We've seen that our anxieties are often rooted in our past experiences and our perception of ourselves. But remember, our past does not define our future. We then delved into the power of mindfulness, a tool that helps us stay present and focused. preventing our minds from wandering into the territories of fear and worry. Mindfulness teaches us to accept our feelings without judgment, allowing us to experience life as it unfolds moment by moment. Moreover, we've learned that a healthy lifestyle can be a game changer in combating social anxiety. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep not only boost our physical health, but also enhance our mental well-being. We've also highlighted the importance of social skills training. By practicing and improving our communication skills, we can enhance our confidence in social situations. We can learn to navigate conversations, express ourselves clearly, and build meaningful connections. Overcoming social anxiety is a process, and it's okay to have setbacks along the way. It's okay to feel afraid. What's important is to keep moving forward, to keep taking those small yet significant steps towards a life free from the grip of social anxiety. Remember, you are not alone in this battle. With the right tools and mindset, you can conquer social anxiety and thrive socially. The journey may seem daunting, but the destination is worth every step. So take that first step today and begin your journey towards a more confident, socially thriving you.